So hello everyone and welcome to a video that is going to help you integrate your studies, keeping in mind the CIMA exam blueprints, which are new introduction in your 2019 syllabus. So this video will revolve around how you can understand the blueprints, how you can focus on the ICAN statements and gather your knowledge in those specific areas from your E3, P3 and F3 module to give you confidence and build your knowledge towards the exam and as you write your mock questions before you sit the final exam. So before we begin, we must know that there are three main pillars of any SCS exam: E3, P3 and F3, with E3 being the foundation for your strategic case study exam. So it has a lot of digital strategy, it has a lot of strategic models, it has a lot of strategic decision help making tools. All of that is present in your E3 module, and that is why it's one of the most important for your strategic case study exam. We're not saying that P3 and F3 are not important at all, but yes, E3 forms the base for your case study. So keep this in mind. Going forward, we will now introduce you to the ICAN statements which have been released by CIMA. So the CIMA generally call it the exam blueprints. So they say that for any person who is fulfilling the role of a senior finance manager, which is your job in the strategic case study exam, must be able to do 5 jobs very effectively. And those 5 jobs are part of the 5 core activities that they have analyzed or they have identified for you. So they say that a senior financial manager should A, develop business strategy, B, evaluate the business ecosystem, so the business environment, C, recommend financing strategies, D, evaluate and mitigate risk, and E, maintain sound internal control or control environment. So these 5 are the main job of a senior finance manager, and this is what your CIMA strategic case study exam is going to revolve around. And you can see that each of these 5 parts are given equal importance. They're about 15 to 25% of importance for each. Now, as you might be thinking that these core activities are very less to go upon, they're very broad, they're very not specific. So to make your job easy, depending on each and every core activity, CIMA has given you various ICAN statements breaking down that core activity itself. So as we can see over here, core activity 1 or A is develop business strategy. So to break it down further, in developing business strategy, they have asked a series of questions which if you can answer, you know the core activity number A. So under developing business strategy, you will have to take account of strategic options. You should be able to recommend strategic decisions. You should be able to evaluate potential acquisitions and divestment opportunities. And you must be able to recommend responses to opportunities and threats arising from digital technologies. So they say that these ICAN statements will act as trigger points to take you back to the material that you have studied from E3, from P3, and from F3, making sure that you are able to link it back to your studies and then, make it part of your answer when it comes as a scenario in your exam. So these ICAN statements are just breaking the core activity up for you. And when you are revising, when you are going through these ICAN statements, make it a point that you should be able to answer these questions in your own simple words as a revision exercise. If you can do that, if you can think of certain areas, then definitely you are on the right path. And to make your job more easy, they have given you where from the syllabus you can study from. So if you look at digital options, digital strategic options, then yes, it's part of your E3 chapter number 12 and 13. If you are looking at strategic decisions, that's your SAF model. That's the different models that you can use from E3 and P3, the strategic options that you have available. So there, as you can see, each and every ICAN statement overlaps. It goes through your knowledge of E3, P3, and F3. And that is why I always mention that the textbooks, specifically E3, and the notes that we provide to you once you sign up with us should be your base, should be something that you should start your study from. Otherwise, this exam is always going to feel alien for you. Having said that, like I said, use these ICAN statements for your revision, but the students that sign up with us get a separate advantage that we always give a lot of value to, which is my ICAN statements. So under my ICAN statements, what we do is we give you trigger ideas and we try to answer each and every core activity by taking you back to E3, P3, and F3 material wherever it's relevant under each and every core activity. So these blueprint explanations are one of a kind. They are very concise. They will quickly help you question yourself, make you check your knowledge. So they really come in handy for revision. All right, so just to show you my blueprints again. So as you can see, the first ICAN statement that the first blueprint, the core area that we identified was develop business strategy. So that's the heading when I start with my, my own blueprint explanations. So the core activity heading is given, and then we start explaining it in my own words, taking each ICAN statement at a time. So if I'm evaluating strategic options, the models that I can think of from E3 are the Porter's generic strategy, which we have given you a simple, easy explanation over here. And so on, we explain the entire ICAN statements, the entire blueprint core areas, which are part of your E3, P3, and F3 syllabus put in one document itself. So once you have gone through our notes, once you have done our revision quizzes, then it becomes very easy for you to catch up with these ICAN statements revision, and then it gets further easier when you go on to mocks and you can quickly use your ideas gained from here in your mock exams. So as I've shown you earlier, each and every ICAN statement, each and every core area is explained in my own ICAN statement explanations with triggers that can really help you remember stuff easily, as you can see on your screen right now. So strategic decisions is evaluated, acquisition and divestment opportunities are evaluated for you in one place. Similarly, the second core activity, which is understanding the business ecosystem and business environment, is also analyzed for you over here in a very simple and easy way. So you can see how your revision will be effective. But we have created a schedule, we have created like a pattern that our students have to follow. We call them 8 steps to success. The first thing that we always ask our students to do is start revising from the E3 notes that have been given to us. So first you will watch our introduction video, which once you sign up with us, we will send you. After the introduction video, you will be watching this video, which I am explaining to you right now. After this video, you will go on to your E3 revision, which I have spoken about. And in my introduction video itself, I will be mentioning how you are supposed to study from my notes. To summarize it, your case study exam is how well you can explain a topic in your own simple, easy words. You don't need to mug up anything, you don't need to mug up models, but you must be able to explain it in your own words. For example, if I ask you external analysis, what would be the best external analysis method for my company, you should be able to suggest the Pestel model or the Porter's five forces model in your own simple words. So how well you can explain, how well you can put your knowledge in simple English is what this exam is about. So remember, first the introduction, then you are on to this video, then you start revising from the E3 notes that we have given to you. Now the E3 notes are very simple, very concise, which will also give you learnings at the end of each and every chapter from the case study perspective. So they're very, very flexible, they're very well made up, and they're very supportive to your studies. So you revise from my E3 notes, and you don't always revise by yourself, obviously, because we are here to support you. So after every 5 chapters of revision, you will ask us for a written quiz from the case study perspective. So you can write that quiz, type out that quiz, and that will give you further, confidence. That will give you further, that will help you build your knowledge towards a case study exam, how you're supposed to study and all of that when you actually start to type out a quiz and explain in your own words. So the quiz helps you check your knowledge, but also it will help developing your writing skills, which are very important for the case study. So yes, we start with E3 revision, you finish 5 chapters, you ask for a quiz, you go back to E3 revision, finish the next 5 chapters, ask for a quiz. After finishing E3, you will move on to the ICan Statements document, which we will give to you. So the demo of which you saw earlier is a whole 60-page document that we will be giving to you. That is where you will be revising from next. So after you've completed E3, after you have your knowledge from there, from my notes, which are simple and easy, you will start with the ICAN statements, finish the ICAN statements, and you already know that the ICAN statements explanation is going to be a mixture between E3, P3, and F3. So while you're doing the ICAN statements, you will have knowledge on E3, knowledge on P3, knowledge on F3. After doing the ICAN statements, you will then go back to the P3 notes and start studying the P3 notes, the revision notes that you will receive from us. So you've already done the ICAN, you already have major core areas in your mind, then you are just brushing them up, you are just going into a little bit more detail when you're doing it from the revision notes that we give you. Subsequently, after every 5 chapters, you will write a P3 quiz, submit it. After P3, you will go on to F3 revision in the same easy manner. Remember, you have gone through the ICAN statements which overlap E3, P3, and F3. When revising your P3 and the F3 from the notes, you may come up against topics that you have already done, but that will be your advantage as you can consolidate them, as you can further learn on them. So there is no alternative other than to study from the revision notes. We have made your study extremely easy by giving you these ICAN explanations, by giving you E3, P3, F3 revision notes, but it's your job to go through them. We have made them really simple. We've made them really informative and interactive, but you will have to spend time going through them and following this pattern, because there will be a lot that you will be doing as part of my course. So you will start with E3 like we already know, then you will take the E3 quizzes, then you will go on to the ICANs. Now, as soon as you finish the ICAN statements document, you will also be introduced to the pre-scene analysis. You will also be introduced slowly to the mock exams. So your revision will always continue to go on in the background, and simultaneously you will be doing case study specific jobs as well, case study specific assignments as well. So we will schedule the whole course for you. We will give you a timeline that you're supposed to follow. We will support you 100%, but it's your job to do the work. So the earlier you sign up, the earlier you start with us, the better flexibility you get when you're going through this revision with us. So hope you have found this helpful. We have all our material ready. All we need is a message from you, and we can start with our studies and helping you get one step closer to your progression. Thank you very much.